This is the Norcast Weather Channel.
Brought to you by Wysocki Electric. As the weather turns nasty, make sure your home stays nice with a standby generator from Wysocki Electric, your South Jersey generic generator installation expert.
Really is a beautiful day out there on your Wednesday afternoon. Partly to mostly sunny skies, rain supreme. We will be looking at some cloud cover coming in 3, 4 o'clock this afternoon into the evening. But until that happens, enjoy the sun, soak it all in. We have the windmill churning in Atlantic City. We have the flags flying where the winds at the coast are a little bit higher, maybe 15 miles an hour. Calmer on the mainland. Taking a live look at the Mays Landing camera at the Inn at Sugar Hill. Beautiful stuff out there. Traffic is moving along without any issues. Dew point of 46, air temperature at 62 degrees. Unfortunately, other folks across the country are not as fortunate as us. There is a major hurricane, Hurricane Ian, barreling down on the southwest portion of Florida. There are well over 200,000 households in southern Florida without electricity right now. Cape Coral, Bonita Springs, Golden Gate, that area has 88,000 homes without power, and that's where the brunt of the storm is now being seen. At this hour, Hurricane Ian is basically category 4.99, just on the cusp of category 5 intensity. We're looking at winds at 155 miles an hour at 10,000 feet up. I was just looking at some of the data coming in, over 165 miles an hour. So those gusts could certainly be an issue at the surface. So this is going to be making landfall late this afternoon, early evening, then slowly making its way through central Florida, emerging out over the Atlantic coast, and then making a second landfall in either Georgia or South Carolina before it gets into the western sections of the Carolinas. And eventually, the impact will be seen here in our neck of the woods over the weekend, where that forecast is evolving. Definitely. A couple days ago, we were thinking, all right, Friday, then we pushed it back to Sunday, Monday. Now we're thinking rain gets here in some fashion on Saturday afternoon. Classic buzzsaw type look right before this storm makes landfall. Another, just a little bit of enhancement is still possible right before it makes its way into the Cape Coral area. It's moving to the northeast at 9 miles an hour. Pressure's down to 937 millibars. The biggest concern we see is the storm surge. Sanibel Island looking at a 12 to 15 foot storm surge. And it's just incredible to look at these numbers because it is possible that some of these regions have nothing left after the storm goes through. So what is storm surge exactly? Well, it is an abnormal rise over your predicted tide levels. And in a major storm, that rise could be 15, 20 feet, and that creates structural damage. It can wipe a house clean off of its foundation if you are close enough to the water. Right now, live radar shows you where those heaviest bands are. Just outside of Tampa, we just triggered a tornado warning east of Bradenton, northeast of Northport. But your eye wall here, that is where the strongest part of the storm is. That's where your most intense winds are going to be housed, as well as where the heaviest rain is right now, just to the south and west of Port Charlotte. Zooming in, you see Bradenton, Sarasota Springs, Arcadia dealing with this very heavy rainfall. Tornado warning just outside of Wauchula and to the south of Sebring. So yes, tornadic activity is going to be an issue that we see out of this storm, and probably through the Carolinas as well. In terms of total rainfall, knocking on the doorstep of 5 inches in Cape Coral, almost 6 in Port Charlotte, and there's a ton more to come. All right, this is just within the past 12 hours or so. Much more offshore. This is going to be making its way over. Zooming in a little bit, to take more of a hyper-local look, you'll see that places like LaBelle, 2.7, Arcadia, 3.5, Sebring at 2.2. You have a long ways to go. Kissimmee at 1.27, a little over an inch and a half in Bartow. Over on the East Coast, Satellite Beach and whatnot, you're also getting beat up by the outer band. So that's where we are right now. Much more to come as Ian makes its way into the Orlando area. We're projecting about 16 inches there. Daytona Beach at about 7. This is going to come out over the Atlantic Ocean, then back up towards the Carolinas, and then, yes, eventually this rain is going to be getting into our region. This is going to be a changing fluid forecast, obviously, but I think we're good for at least an inch. some of the guidance suggests 3, 4, 5 inches of rain. I think we'll be able to solidify those details as we go further into today, and by tomorrow we'll have that all timed out for you. So here are the sustained winds, 74 miles an hour right now just outside of Sarasota. We do have that tornado watch in effect, tornado warning just to the east of Bradenton at this hour. So our futurecast for this storm brings all that heavy rain into Orlando, the Daytona Beach area. This is just going to be a horrible rain situation for a lot of folks there. And then moving up the coast into the Carolinas and then knocking on our doorstep. This is Saturday late morning, and then into the afternoon we could get some waves of rain. So again, we got to figure out the exact impact because some guidance suggests that this hangs around for a couple days. Here's your 7-day forecast. Rain Saturday, Sunday, Monday, lingering showers on your Tuesday, and temperatures only in the 60s, so very cool for this time of the year.